Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again, another reaction for you guys. Today, of course, taking in the journey of X-Men Evolution. This is Season 2, Episode 14, Retreat. So I'm curious what that means, with that title, who knows. Well, we're going to find out, of course, within the episode itself. Last week's episode, Shadow Dance. I'll be honest with you, as it was going, I'm like, I don't know about this, because a high school dance, romance is involved and stuff, but then again, it's okay, well, a lot of these characters, in terms of the X-Men, are in high school, so we're going to get this kind of stuff, and so we'll see. They handled it pretty well, in my opinion. I was actually quite surprised. Then again, the show has been pretty consistent in terms of the quality of storytelling, so I shouldn't have been too surprised. But I was like, I don't know how I feel about this, because ultimately, I don't really like romance in my stories, in the stuff that I watch. I tolerate it. Sometimes it works. Most time I'm like, I take it or leave it. It is what it is. I'm more focused on other things. I will say that the romance in the episode really worked in terms of what actually worked for two characters and what didn't work for two characters. In terms of what worked, Kurt and his new woman. I mean, literally, his girlfriend, like, saw him transform in, like, the hallway at some point, and then was just infatuated, wanted to get to know him. And she doesn't care that he's, you know, this blue demon. Like, she doesn't care that he looks different. She really likes him and wants to be with him. Like, to me, that is awesome. I love that. What didn't work is that Jean waited too damn long to ask Scott to the dance, because it was a whole thing about where women are supposed to ask the men to the dance, or whatever, or the girls asking the boys in this case. She waited too long, so Scott didn't go with her, and she's like, well, I'm not going to go with my boyfriend, I might go with someone else, and it's like, she waited too long to ask Scott. So that whole thing, like, that's her fault, because she, at all this time, could be with Scott, could actually be chasing after him, but instead is still with this Duncan guy or whatever, and took too damn long. So a lot of that. And then, of course, we had Forge and everything, and the whole other plot line in terms of Kurt and everything, in terms of seeing the other dimension he travels to when he like vamps or whatever. So that was really cool to see that. So overall, the episode was actually pretty good. So that's actually that's really matters. That's what really should matter. Blah, at the end of the day. So anyways, guys, I'm excited. I'm really enjoying the show so far. We're getting closer to the end of season 2. It's kind of crazy how fast we're getting through this. So let's dive in, guys. Let's check it out. Let's go. What's he doing? What is he doing? Dude, what are you doing? Why are you out in the open like this?
Where'd he go? Gotta be here somewhere.
Wait, he disappeared? How?
I'm so sorry about this. Well, it was bound to happen eventually.
What, he lost control?
What was it last time? I was a fool to think I could ever leave these walls. Don't be hard on yourself, Hank. I really can't be trusted out there.
You can, just takes time, you know?
Each of us is faced with a unique journey of discovery. Journey? Where do you go when you can't be seen by the public? What are you up to, Kitty?
Well, maybe he can take some of us to the Redwood Forest.
Perhaps you'd like to lead a field trip to the California Redwoods. Up for it? What? No, I'm sorry. Just imagine what you could teach them in a natural environment like the Redwoods. Untouched by man, miles away from another human being. You too, Evan.
Oh, come on, Teach.
He was trying to get out.
Some other way? Like going to the park.
That's kind of cool. Okay. So Retreat makes sense now, the title.
These things weigh a ton. This
Well.
gear's nothing. Just feel that sun, man. It totally juices me, yeah.
So that we are far away from people, but could this mean something bad may happen? Oh. That was quick. We can have some fun, why not, you know? Oh, he's enjoying it. That's cool. Maybe careful. I bet someone's gonna see him.
I'm enjoying the animal I've become, but I don't want to. This is not who I am.
Well, then maybe it's who you were meant to be.
Something bad's gonna happen here. I'm kind of worried. Save the... Shit. Who's filming? Who is that? Yeah, exactly. A bunch of hunters. Oh, God. Oh, no.
You see there? That's a shoulder.
Now that's a wing. Looks like a flipper to me. Or a nose.
Bigfoot.
They think he's Bigfoot. Oh, my God.
Is he wearing
They think
trunks?
he's Bigfoot.
Maybe he stole him out of some campsite.
Oh, the turn like Bigfoot. Jesus Christ. Oh, no.
Let's bag us an ape, man.
I have to pause because I cannot believe the storyline we're doing is that, well, first of all, you know, Hank's having a really tough time being Beast and it's coming to grips with it, but the fact that they think he's Bigfoot. That's bad that they're going to try to hunt him, but my God, they think he's Bigfoot. This is great. Oh my God.
No, I'm serious.
These
Bigfoot's
guys,
around
I
Yeti.
swear.
No way. Then what's a Sasquatch? Huh? Where can I get me one of those?
Oh my
The
God.
Bigfoot trading post on Route 5.
He's messing with them. Oh my gosh. He better be careful, yeah, because there's guys hunting him. Oh.
Again.
Damn it, damn it. Shit.
Well, you see, the bars
He's gonna
use
talk to them
magnetic
about-
energy to repel the specimen.
And I know just the taxidermist to handle this size of game, too.
That's outrageous.
Mr. McCoy!
Mr. McCoy!
Mr. McCoy! Mr. McCoy!
Oh.
Human. Human.
I have to admit, this cage is brilliant. I'm guessing some kind of convex polarity reversal.
How do you know of such things?
They'll give anybody a degree these days.
You are not Bigfoot, are you?
Nope.
Now we're on the same page.
It's the most amazing thing. He can, he's able to respond to sounds.
We're all special in a different way. But you can see why we need to hide ourselves from the world.
Oh, don't worry. We'll find a way to release you.
They're gone. Shit.
I'm telling you, under these conditions, we need to stay on higher ground.
Relax, I know how to handle this kind of terrain.
No, you don't.
Look out!
Exactly. Look out. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Holy shit. Oh, my God. No, no. Come on, there he is. Come on, come on.
Let's go!
I have to say, come on, man. Start using powers. Love it. Love it. So good. Oh, you're lucky.
Now we're talking.
Damn. Awesome. Okay. I'm gonna say he's good. He's fine. He's good.
All right, Mr. McCoy.
Use that strength. There you go. Damn. Shouldn't be helping these guys because they're assholes, but whatever. The two guys, the two hunters or whatever. See, they shouldn't have saved them.
No, let him go!
One down.
Exactly. Exactly.
Bad idea.
Ooh, yes. I love it. I love it.
Looking for something? If I were you, I'd start running before he makes up his mind.
Fascinating group. I'd love to know more.
Someday,
Someday.
you will.
Someday.
One throws a gun in my hands.
Listen, we may be obsessed Bigfooters, but we ain't stupid.
It's hardly proof.
As a wise young girl once told me, we are who we're meant to be. So I guess the students aren't the only ones who learned something on this class trip.
Another great episode of X-Men Evolution. And yes, part of the reason is because that they thought he was Bigfoot. I just love that so much. But what I also like too is that it dove into Hank's kind of psyche in terms of like, he's still trying to process the fact that at one point he was this human that was losing control and he was trying to like all these different methods, a way to hold in his mutant side. And now that he's Beast and he basically is stuck within the school, that we open the episode with him trying to, run around at night or whatever, and there's cops chasing after him, and he goes back to the school where he had taught or whatever, and he's getting really angry because he can't just be out and about. Like, he hates the fact that he's stuck inside. So the fact that they go on this retreat, right? But can't even talk. Retreat. The title, which makes a lot of sense. And what I also like about that too is that they actually take a couple of characters who we haven't really seen too much. Like, it could have been easily, okay, we're gonna take Kitty, we're gonna take Kurt, we're gonna take Scott, we're gonna take Gene. No, we take Kitty, we take Bobby, we take Magma, I think that's his name, but the like, it's clearly not Firestorm or whatever, or Human Torch or whatever. Firestorm's DC, but I think his name's Magma or something. Wolfsbane, right? They take Spike, what's his name? I can't remember his name actually on top of my head. But they take, like, some characters we know, but others we really, like I said, Iceman Bobby, we take him along the trip. We've taken a couple different characters that are kind of newer to the team, a part of this retreat, right? And it's away from everybody else. Of course, they weren't going to be away from everybody else. But I like the dialogue back and forth before we actually left the X Mansion, where we actually have Professor X talking and then read Kitty's mind when she's like, well, what about we throw out this retreat or whatever, and so you can get away and get out and about and everything. But the back and forth of where Hank feels like he's stuck and he doesn't know what to do because he feels like he can't just be out and about because the world won't accept him. And we see that within the episode because when they're actually discovered by these guys who are Bigfoot fanatics, and they allow these two hunters who are just asses to be along the trip, it changes the whole entire thing. Because I think if the hunters were not there, this would have been, I think, an interesting dialogue between a scientist and these people that are obsessed with Bigfoot. Now, mostly the guy we kind of focus on, besides the two hunters, are part of the group who actually has a conversation with him later on with Hank or whatever. But of course, we had to have that kind of conflict, if you will, to where we have a guy who is understanding this is not Bigfoot, but we have to have the two hunters. So when we're getting to that point, and the whole turning point where they think it's Bigfoot is hilarious. But when they get out there and they're traveling, that they, stow away I forget what they call it, like the copter or whatever, and they go to their location, they're doing some, observations and taking samples, and Spike gets, what is it, like poison ivy or poison oak or whatever. That was funny. And then he's just out and about on his own. Hank is. And then he sees a fish. He saves it because it's basically like just floating on a rock and it can't, it's not in the water, so it's dying basically. And there's a whole thing to where, he's kind of conflicted because he's like, I'm embracing my animal side, my beast side, but that's not who I was. And then, they brought that line up again at the end, but Katie says something along the lines of, well, maybe this is who you were meant to be. Just because you think you're one thing, you're actually something else. Like, life changes, basically. Like, life will throw you curveballs, and maybe you thought you were this person, but you're actually not, right? So it's a weird thing to where, yeah, maybe at one point in his life, Hank was that teacher, that guy that was there to help, but now he can help in a different way, and he's actually meant to be Beast, to have that balance and not letting anger take over like that was kind of occurring in the opening of the episode. So maybe that's what it is, right? Well, they capture footage, and the way the footage is shot is so funny because at the end when he does the turn, kind of like how the infamous, well, it's pretty much famous, not infamous at this point, the Bigfoot footage from the 1967, I believe, the Patterson footage. The way Bigfoot's walking and the camera's behind, and Bigfoot does the turn like that towards the camera. It's pretty much done like that. For Hank turns that way because he hears a noise. He kind of turns like that a little bit. It's freaking hilarious. Like, wait, he's wearing like trunks. He's wearing like underwear. Like, what the hell? It's like he found him at a campsite or something. It's like, no. So when he's captured, because later on, they're tricking him or whatever, they shoot him with these like tranquilizers, and they actually work, but they take a little time to actually take effect. He's captured in this device that's electromagnetic or whatever, so he touches it, he gets shocked with electricity. He starts talking to the scientist. This was really fascinating to me because I was like, okay, he's going to talk to him. but I didn't know where the conversation was going to go. Like, this scientist clearly is fascinated by Bigfoot or the idea of Bigfoot. But he's like, "But you could talk?" And then they're having an actual conversation. And he's like, "Well, I can quote Shakespeare if you let me out." And then, of course, the hunters show up, so they, of course, they're not going to let him out. But he didn't want them to know. He didn't want the hunters to know that he can talk, that he is actually not Bigfoot, that he wants them to continue to think he's this creature that they captured, that they can take to taxidermy or something. Like, the fuck, they're going to kill him? What? Of course, they're not going to. But then we see towards the end when there's all the heavy rain and the weather and everything, and Wolfsbane was able to track him down the scent, but unfortunately, had already left the campsite. Of course, they crashed or whatever off the side of like the road or whatever in like a river area, and then there's this huge wave of water, and then he gets thrown off the back of a truck in his cage or whatever, and then we see the group of kids team up. You know, Bobby using his ice abilities and seeing them using a variety of abilities to help Beast get out of the cage, and then they go save those other guys. And of course, they save the hunters first, and then the main scientist guy. So the hunters like, "Go, let's go get them!" Like, Jesus. If they would have known, they wouldn't have saved them first. But it separated them, the three of them, the two hunters and the scientists, from the rest of the group, because the rest of the guys are just a bunch of Bigfoot, like enthusiasts who love Bigfoot, the idea of Bigfoot, so they want to try to find proof. So separating them so they don't see anything else really that's happening. So when they all team up to take out the hunters and everything, and Iceman, he's like, I love the fact that Bobby's fully iced out. That's really cool. I love seeing that. We've only seen it like I think one other time on the show so far. Maybe there was actually a second time as well, but it was really cool to see that again. And then see Wolfsbane being the wolf and then turning into the wolf kind of girl hybrid. That was a cool visual the way she did it in front of them. And then Beast, Hank said two words of, "I'm thinking." It's like, you better run away or whatever, and they're all showing their abilities. You have the scientist. Now, see, I wonder if there was more of a dialogue between them, because when the two hunters ran, he's like, "I want to learn more," because he sees all of them with their abilities. And Hank's like, "You will at some point." So maybe that's where the conversation actually ended, or maybe there was some actual more dialogue back and forth, because I think Hank trusts this guy. And it's actually good that he did, because the hunters are telling all those other guys back there where they got saved, "There was all these powers, oh my god, they attacked us, and he talked, he said, 'You saw it,'" and then here comes the main scientist guy, and he's like, "Well, that's interesting," but, and he goes back to a quote he said before, because they have all this, like, blue fur from Beast. It's like, well, it doesn't exactly mean proof or whatever he said. He says it again, like, well, it's not exactly proof. So, he's not going to speak. He's not going to say anything. They still have the footage. So I'm hoping the footage is destroyed, like with all the crashing. I'm assuming because all the vehicles were destroyed, that the footage of Beast, Hank walking or whatever, kind of like Bigfoot, the turn and everything, and because the guy showed the footage, I'm hoping it got destroyed. Maybe that actually comes up later. Maybe that guy who shot that, or maybe someone finds that footage and it goes public. I'm just throwing it out there. I mean, it's a possibility, right? Because it was shot. Who's to say that it wasn't destroyed? Maybe the guy had it on him and, he was able to save it, preserve it. I don't know. I'm assuming it's destroyed because of the flooding and everything and all the craziness, and the cars destroyed and the guys were saved. I'm assuming the tape is destroyed, but I don't know. You never know, right? That this is a show that has ongoing themes, ongoing storylines, whether they're active at the moment or they're inactive and they'll be picked up later on. So that may come back later. Just throwing it out there. I doubt it. Because, it's not really it's a gigantic turning point for this particular episode, but it may not matter later, but it may, still may. But I enjoyed it because of seeing them work together to save him towards the end, and the fact that there was more development in terms of Hank and everything and kind of what he's still going through, because, yeah, he just turned into Beast, and we kind of just pushed that to the side. Okay, he's Beast now, and he's just kind of there helping the students, but there's still a mental side of it that is just not going to just go away. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still going to be there, a part of him. So I like the fact that we addressed that, and it seems he's in a better place now at the end of the episode, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. And the fact is, like I was mentioning earlier, that we got some focus. Can't even talk today. Wow. More focus on some characters that were introduced within season 2, instead of, because we legit could have just brought pretty much the main characters like Rogue and Jean and Scott or whatever on this trip, but instead we actually give focus on some of the other new characters in the mix. And we had Spike, and I keep forgetting Evan, right, and then Kitty. a part of it. So that was cool, but it was mostly like, okay, we can actually focus on some other mutants in this episode too, so that was cool. So anyways, what do you guys think of the episode? I'm curious to know your thoughts. I overall enjoyed it, had a good time with it. I'm curious to know what you guys thought about, if you kind of took away the same things of me in terms of the Bigfoot angle was really funny to me, and just how it actually did pretty good job in terms of teamwork, and just the fact that we got more development of Beast, Hank. I think it was really cool. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the reaction. Talk to you guys soon. Peace out.